What would you say to these young players that are saying, "Oh, it's D1 or nothing"? Division 2 is not where it's at. I mean, you were a guy who started as a freshman at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and I mean, took off from there.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back earlier than that. I just didn't really know what I want to do with my life. Even through high school, I just enjoyed sports. I enjoyed doing all different sorts of things as a kid. I liked wakeboarding. I liked going on vacations. I liked snowboarding. I liked, I played tennis and golf. I did everything. So, when it kind of fully to baseball, and I hadn't really, put myself out there a whole lot in terms of like showcases or going to, Division 1 schools workouts to prove that I could play at that level. For me, it was about just going out and playing. I felt like, I didn't necessarily have a ton of D1 offers to choose from, but there was places I could have gone. There was definitely places I could have walked on, but I made a choice that I just wanted to play. I felt like I couldn't get better sitting on the bench, so I chose a different route. I chose to go D2 so that I could go in and play right away and kind of figure out what kind of baseball player I was, and naturally take the next step from high school to college and have more competition. But I felt like I wasn't going to get better sitting on the bench. I know some people choose that route. They want to do that route. They want to go D1. They're okay sitting out redshirting, where they're okay, not starting and maybe waiting senior to play out, getting in time and kind of learning as I go.
Yeah, I think that's a huge point of not going D1 and kind of just playing the game that we all love to play more so than anything, because practices are fun, but games are more fun, right?
Yeah, I
And
mean, there's only so much you can learn about yourself in practice. Obviously, you get a ton better in practice, but practice is, essentially getting you ready to play a game. It's doing all your studying, and then you got to take the test. And if I'm only getting a chance to study and I never get to take the test, I never could figure out, what kind of player I am. And also, like, people forget too, like I could have left Dominguez Hills. I could have left after my freshman year. I had opportunities to leave. You don't have to be there, for all 4 years. In my mind, essentially, I was going to use Dominguez Hills as a junior college. I could have chosen the junior college route, but I wasn't thinking about the end goal of baseball. I was thinking end goal of life, and I wanted to get my education. And I felt like if baseball worked out great, I'm going to give everything I got. But I felt like if I went to a junior college, I had heard horror stories about, not necessarily taking the right courses and being eligible to transfer to schools and maybe having to retake classes. So I felt like if I can go to Dominguez Hills and start my journey to get my four year degree, and if baseball, really took off, I could have transferred. I could have left. At that point, I maybe could have sat out and transferred, or I could have been granted my release from the coach at Dominguez Hills. But um, I like being there. It wasn't the place that I envisioned myself going. It wasn't the place I dreamed about going, but I was having success. I enjoyed the coaches I was around. I enjoyed my teammates. I think it also helped that I saw, a couple guys when I was a freshman, juniors, getting drafted. So I was like, well, what's it matter if they're getting drafted? Then why would I have to leave? And it was 40 minutes house, and my parents could come watch me play all the time. So those are all different things that I look on, and I could a different route, but like I'm really happy with the end result. I'm my wife there, so it's about getting opportunity and making the most of it, not about going to a place that's sexy and I mean I guess now with NIL it's a little different. You can make some money doing it, but it's about playing. It's hard to get seen if you're sitting on the bench.
yeah, definitely. I always have this thought that surrounding yourself with the better people to learn from is just a huge advantage to get ahead of the competition with things. Now, motivating yourself is one thing, but when you have, say, a group of guys that you're all working together on the same goal of achieving, playing a higher end baseball. What is it like for you and for somebody else to start networking in a way with other guys that are better than them so that they can get better?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that kind of really, I would say that kind of came to fruition probably my junior year, and two of my roommates that were a year older than me, their senior years, and I think we had put in our time. I think we were really committing. At that point, we were having some success and we were getting some looks, and the three of us were really pushing ourselves to try to get to the next level, and that started with a lot of playing summer ball and working out in the off season, and instead of us going back home to like our parents' house, we stayed in the house that we were renting year round and trained. And fortunately one of them got drafted and didn't make it very far, but got a little bit of an opportunity to play professional baseball. And one ended up with a hamstring injury that kind of cost him his shot of maybe getting to the next level. But surrounding yourself with good people, like-minded people, is so important. We all had big dreams. We all held each other accountable. We all pushed each other to be great. I know that I know that I didn't get here alone. I know that those guys played a big part in it. I know that my coaches at Dominguez Hills played a big part of it. My teammates. I mean, you can go down the line from Little League, different people I've encountered throughout my baseball career. My parents, my older brother and his friends, pushing me to be great all the time and trying to fit in. So just always, I think that's more important than the school that you go to, and just finding people that think like you and dream like you. And I think anything's possible.
Yeah, I think you couldn't have said it better. Knowing Murph Sua and knowing the guys that you were surrounded with, I think everyone knew that players were going to be prepared for the next level, no matter, if it was, pro baseball, if it was independent ball, or heck, if it was slow pitch softball.